we'll go. You go first with your top six. How do you think this is gonna go?
The way I see it, regardless, even though Chelsea spent 200 mil,
Mm.
I still think City will somehow edge it on top. They'll come first. That's for
Oh, by the
certain.
way, say who you go for, because they probably don't
I'm
remember.
I'm a Chelsea supporter. If you guys are wondering,
And I'm a City supporter. But I've been a City supporter before all the money came in. All right, stop this bullshit. Where you're a bandwagon. Nah, I started following them when Stephen Island and Sean Wright Phillips were there. So that was way before all those boys came in.
yeah.
All right, your top
First,
six.
yeah, my top six. Obviously, I'll go with City first.
Mm-hmm.
Like regardless, even though they've had like the only real transfer they've really had is just Fernand
Torres.
Torres.
And as well, I think we brought back Carlos Moreno, the Portuguese. He's like a Brazilian striker that we keep on sending out on loan. But I reckon if we sign who apparently we're going to sign, Koulibaly, that adds a way massive, bigger threat for City. Apparently, it's rumored between him and Jimenez from Atletico Madrid. So, you know who I would want? Because especially Jimenez is way younger than Koulibaly. Koulibaly's like 27, 28. While
But to be
while
honest, his
Jimenez
price
is
tag
20.
doesn't justify anyway. So
Bro, I'd rather get Jimenez. At least
get
he's
a
younger.
get a cheap alternative and
I reckon he'll
splashing
be
out
around the
80,
same
90 mil.
price though. I reckon he'll
Uh,
be around the same price, but he's younger, which means it's
all
more of a
comes down to
future.
if he's in form, if he's doing well in the league, then they'll like appraise his
I
value in the
think when
transfer
it comes
market.
to Premier League transfers, it's always more expensive.
Oh, they
Like
always value.
if he was going anywhere else, like I was watching. Oh, I don't know what I was looking at, but you know that guy Tarowski from Burnley. I don't know how to pronounce his name. The centre back.
If I've seen if I look at
That
his face,
guy,
maybe.
he's apparently rumored to go to West Ham for like 80 mil. And I was like, if he's 80 mil, how much is Jimenez and Koulibaly? Because they're better than him.
Well, even Chelsea's been rumored to sign Declan Rice, and the people saying his transfer it's like 60 to 70
They
mil.
reckon it's karma for that. They reckon
Yeah,
that's why.
he used to play in Chelsea's youth.
But they reckon it's karma. They reckon that's why West Ham are charging so much for. Not West Ham. Burnley are charging so much for Tarowski. It's karma
Yeah.
for them asking for so much for Declan Rice. Anyway, keep on going. I agree with you
My
though. My pool, I have City first as well.
Yeah, City will be first. I reckon Chelsea maybe actually
You reckon they edge
yeah,
Liverpool?
between Chelsea and Liverpool, I reckon Liverpool maybe second,
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea third.
Yep.
Uh, this one like between Arsenal and Man U, like
Yeah.
I reckon they'll be like fifth,
Yep.
and Spurs I reckon maybe sixth.
We have
Uh,
the same teams, but in a completely different order. Besides the first two, mine is
what's your one?
I have United third. I don't know why. I just think,
Is it because of Van der Beek that they signed?
but as well the way Fernandez was going. If Fernandez keeps on going on that role that he was going, and
Yeah,
as
and they
well,
just score
their only
penalties.
problem is their defense. Besides that, and as well, now they have a second goalkeeper if they want to change out De Gea. They actually have a good goalkeeper. They have Henderson, who's really fucking good.
Didn't he go back to Sheffield United?
No,
Or they called him back?
they called him back. So that's what I'm saying.
wow.
He would be a huge part if De Gea's not performing. And as well, from what I've heard, that Sancho deal is getting done. If that Sancho deal gets done, their team is insane.
They got a good attacking lineup.
And as well, I
I'll
feel
say
like
that.
Van der Beek strengthens their midfield. Because you would have. I would assume McTominay would be playing with Van der Beek, right, in the midfield. Him and Pogba, right? Because Van der Beek's not a defensive midfielder.
Yeah,
Van der
he's
Beek
an
likes
attacking.
to push. He likes to push forward. So that's where I found it weird that they signed him. Because you can't play him, Pogba, and Fernandes. They're three
too much
attacking
attacking.
midfielders.
Yeah,
Or like, because if they put McTominay in there with a player like Van der Beek and Pogba, that's a lot of experience on his, like, in the midfield.
on his corner.
Yeah. After them, this is gonna actually shock. Oh, wait, yeah. After them's Arsenal. I just think Arsenal, the way that they're going, I believe in Arteta. I watched a lot of Arsenal's games last year and this year, and I feel like the biggest problem with them is their defense. But as well, they've kind of strengthened their defense.
They signed that guy, that Brazilian centre back.
And as well, they don't have Europa yet, do they? Or do they have it because of FA Cup?
Because of the FA Cup they won, they got Europa
But I have Arsenal there probably just because of Aubameyang, and they're keeping Lacazette again, and Saka is there.
I heard a rumor with Lacazette that if they were to get rid of him, they will try to. Yeah, for Party.
Yeah, like they would switch.
A switch.
But as well, and as well, I don't know. I really like Arsenal's team. I attacking wise and like the way their team's built. I've always like if I had to pick a second favorite club, it would probably be Arsenal. Like I've always had like I watch Arsenal a lot, and that's why I'm like I would probably pick them fourth, no fifth, no fourth. What am I talking about? Yeah, fourth. Fifth, Chelsea. The reason I say fifth is because that whole team has to gel.
I know, it's not gonna take. It will take maybe a couple seasons, but
the first game they should win.
Yeah,
except for if Matt Ryan has the match of his freaking life and saves everything. Because not only that, Brighton haven't signed anyone. They got
besides letting go of Aaron Moy.
Bro, they let go of a lot of players. They've let go of some of their strikers as well.
What, Mopé as well?
Not Mopé, but some other players. And they haven't really signed anyone to replace those players. So that's where I don't see where they're going. And as well, for me, the only thing that I reckon, it's going to be interesting how they... I've said this to you before. How is Thiago Silva going to deal in the EPL? Because a lot of slow defenders struggle in the EPL, especially now.
That's true.
The small clubs have fast strikers that push defenders off the ball. And as well, you're loaning Tomori to Everton, which to me, I reckon that's... But as well, you got Rudiger. I reckon obviously you're going to have to play Rudiger and Thiago Silva together. And that's going to be interesting. And not only that, another thing is Thiago Silva gets injured a lot. I don't know if Chelsea fans know that, but he does get injured very often. So that's going to be the interesting part. But besides that, I honestly think you're killing the momentum of Mason Mount. Because Mason Mount, like at the back end of last year, was playing really well because he was starting almost every game. So it's like, now Havertz is there. So Havertz takes his spot. Ziyech would go to the wing, on the right wing, I would assume.
Yeah.
And then obviously you got Werner in the middle. And left wing would be Pulisic, right? It would have to be.
Pulisic is injured, from what I've heard, so...
Mount
that will leave at least maybe Hudson-Odoi or Mount to actually...
Probably Mount. Because Mount, the way he was playing last year... Like, I watched a lot of Chelsea's games at the back end of the season. And even you can say this, Mount was playing crazy at the back end of the season. Even in the FA Cup game. Like, he played very well against Arsenal. He had a really good game. Who else was after them? After them is Spurs. I reckon just because of Spurs' team, I love Spurs' team, and as well, I think I'm really curious about Doherty. I'm really curious
That's
on how he's
to be
gonna
honest,
go.
that's a solid signing for almost 20 mil for a
Yeah,
right back.
and another one is if Lloris is playing bad, you got Joe Hart, which I'm not 100% sure about.
Uh, that
I
honestly shocked me when
I
when
gave
I even
up.
heard about
I
it.
gave up on Joe Hart when he went to Italy and he struggled.
He
Like
wasn't good in Torino, to be
he
honest.
played terrible in Italy. I'm a
Nah.
City fan, but I remember why we got rid of Joe Hart, and it's because he can't kick the ball. But as well, as long as, in my opinion, as long as Kane stays healthy, they make the top six. Without a doubt, Chelsea make the top six. And as well, Son, like, he has to get
Sometimes
injured.
he can even Son as well can sometimes just carry the team
Yeah.
on his
And
back
another one,
when it
ever
happens.
since Mourinho's got in there, he's been playing better. Since I've been watching that Tottenham documentary, is Ali. Ali's gone back into his old form of where like he's starting to play, like he's gaining that confidence back. And not only that, you still got Lucas. Like they got such a good team. And as well, remember Bergwijn came in halfway through the season, right?
Yeah.
So he's got like this season, a whole season now with Spurs. But I'm curious about the defense because who do they have in their defense now? Because didn't Vertonghen leave?
From what I've heard, I haven't heard nothing about that, but
Because that
that
was
they
he was on
sound they
his
signed
last
that
year on his contract.
Southampton holding mid that I always forget
Oh
about.
yeah, Hoidberg. He's a
Hoiberg, yeah,
gun.
that's
He
the
used
one.
to play for Bayern. People forget that he used to play for Bayern. That was when Shaqiri was in Bayern as well. But he's a gun. But yeah, that's what I reckon. Do you have any like other like that you reckon could sneak in like a surprise team that could sneak into the top six?
To be honest, like I know people will be like that's pretty stupid prediction, but maybe Leeds. You
Oof.
never know.
I was thinking Fulham because of their defense. Because of the goalkeeper and that guy. Oh no, Leeds could as well. The thing I'm curious about with Leeds is
Since they signed
how.
Rodrigo,
Yeah, I was about to say that how Rodrigo goes, but as well, another one is Leicester. As long as Vardy's there, that's all that fucking matters.
yeah, as long as Vardy's there and Madison and all those guys stay healthy,
And
then
as well,
I reckon they
Perez.
could.
If Perez can play
Yosley,
well
yeah.
for like, because that's the problem with Perez. He's not very consistent. If he was a consistent player, I reckon he would be a gun. All right.